Question 46. 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verses 3 to 5 says, "The husband should give to his wife her conjugal rights, and likewise the wife to her husband. For the wife does not have authority over her own body, but the husband does. Likewise the husband does not have authority over his own body, but the wife does. Do not deprive one another, except perhaps by agreement for a limited time, that you may devote yourselves to prayer." Doesn't this show that unilateral authority from the husband is wrong? Yes. But let's broaden our answer to get the most from this text and guard it from misuse. This text could be terribly misused by unloving men who take it as a license for thoughtless sexual demands or even lewd and humiliating erotic activity. One can imagine a man's sarcastic jab. "The Bible says that you do not have authority over your body. But I do. And it says, you owe me what I want." The reason we say this would be a misuse is because the text also gives to the wife the authority to say, "The Bible says that you do not have authority over your body. But I do. And I tell you that I do not want you to use your body to do that to me." Another reason we know this would be a misuse is that Paul says decisions in this sensitive area should be made by agreement. Verse 5. This text is not a license for sexual exploitation. It is an application to the sexual life of the command. Outdo one another in showing honor. Romans chapter 12 verse 10. Or, in humility count others more significant than yourselves. Philippians chapter 2 verse 3. Or, only do not use your freedom as an opportunity for the flesh, but through love serve one another. Galatians chapter 5 verse 13. The focus is not on what we have a right to take but on the debt we have to pay. Paul does not say, "Take what you want." He says, "Do not deprive each other." In other words, when it lies within your power to meet your spouse's needs, do it. There is a wonderful mutuality and reciprocity running through the 1 Corinthians text from verse 2 to verse 5. Neither husband nor wife is given more rights over the body of the other. And when some suspension of sexual activity is contemplated, Paul repudiates unilateral decision-making by the wife or the husband. Do not deprive one another, except perhaps by agreement for a limited time. Verse 5. What are the implications of this text for the leadership of the husband? Do the call for mutual yielding to sexual need, and the renunciation of unilateral planning, nullify the husband's responsibility for general leadership in the marriage? We don't think so. But this text definitely shapes that leadership and gives added biblical guidance for how to work it out. It makes clear that his leadership will not involve selfish, unilateral choices. He will always strive for the ideal of agreement. He will take into account the truth that her sexual needs and desires carry the same weight as his own in developing the pattern of their intimacy. This text makes crystal clear that leadership is not synonymous with having to get one's way. This text is also one of the main reasons we prefer to use the term leadership, rather than authority, for the man's special responsibility. See question 36. Texts like 1 Corinthians chapter 7 transform the concept of authority so deeply as to make the word, with its authoritarian connotations, easily misunderstood. The difference between us and the evangelical feminists is that they think the concept disappears into mutuality, while we think the concept is shaped by mutuality.